Riathan's face was grim, as if he faced a threat too much for even a master warder. Softly, he said, "What do you want here, Constance?"
"I wanted to see what you wanted here. Surely you didn't think your exodus would go unnoticed?"
Khat recognized that voice. "But you were here long before the first-tier delegation arrived." The man's size seemed right, from what little he had been able to guess last night. Khat tucked the folded book carefully back into its case, keeping his eyes on it, trying to look like no one of particular importance.
"To carry the tale back to your master?"
It would have been a sneer if Riathan hadn't been too well bred for such things.
"Our master."
The answer was gentle mockery.
"How did you get past my men below?"
"Easily. They're all dead."
Khat looked up, startled. The others were held immobile in an instant of shock. Then he saw the faint smile, and the man Riathan had called Constance said,
"No, I left them alive, unfortunately, to plot more treason."
Riathan's brows drew together.
"Nothing I do here is treason."
"I prefer not to debate the point. You know politics has no interest for me."
Constance looked down at Khat, who was still holding the book, and felt he had failed in his attempt to remain inconspicuous.
"That must be the brilliant addition to your collection that I have heard so much about. Or was it meant to be a secret?"
Khat said nothing under that calm, amused gaze, thinking, "He knows that was me last night, that I know he followed Elin out here and not Riathan." He felt himself being drawn into a conspiracy he wanted no part of. Riathan's lips thinned.
"No secret,"
he said, with a smile that acknowledged the lie even as he spoke it.
"My students wished to study the past. I brought it out here so they could see it in its context."
Not in context, Khat thought, irritated. There was no evidence that the survivors ever took shelter in the remnants.
"Then there would be no objection to my examining the book,"
Constance said, all sweet reason.
"It is far too valuable to allow casual handling."
One of the lictors leapt forward suddenly, raising his rifle like a club. He was less than a step away from Constance when he staggered backward, as if he had been struck a heavy blow. The rifle clattered to the stone floor, and the lictor's face turned pale. Then past fear pale to death pale. He collapsed with a sickening thump, and everyone started back. Everyone except Riathan, Elin, who dug fingers into the well's rim, and Constance, who regarded Riathan without rancor or apology, and explained,
"He startled me.